They want to keep using the service after the first free month, then they need to pay a subscription or refer someone. So we want an organic growth model, but at the same time, if people don't know a lot of people, like grandma might not get a lot of referrals, she can just pay a small amount of Tempow token to maintain the subscription.
How much does he have to pay in dollar terms?
At the moment, well, the token's coming out at 16 cents. The exact amount is usually, well, on Crescendo, the amount's going to be 3% of the transaction. So a transaction fee payable only in Tempow, not in crypto and not in fiat. In Legato, the subscription models vary anywhere from like $4 or $5 up to $30. Depending if people want that international exposure, if they want the escrow service.
But that's a monthly fee, right?
There'll be a monthly fee.
I mean, that could be a hindrance.
Could be cut off at any time as well. That's why we want to make the referral system so easy that you just share your username to someone else who downloads Legato.
All right.
Hopefully, once people get, as I know with 99% of people, once they get into crypto, they get more into crypto. And if there's a way to make something free for themselves, then they find out whatever the way to get free is. Like Dropbox, right? I've never paid for Dropbox.
Yeah.
I've just continued referring people and now got all this space.
So the demand of your token will come from the subscription fee for Legato.
The demand is going to come from people being able to not have to go to an exchange to make their first trade. So they Google, how do I buy Bitcoin? And we show up. Get Legato, download the app, trade instantly.
All right. Okay, let's move to the second platform. What was the name of it?
Crescendo. So Crescendo is about getting louder, building your business, more customers, more revenue.
Because, it's actually going to be a little bit, hard, to my view, because, this is actually linkage between consumers and merchants. And that's harder than you would expect.
And the biggest barrier is in merchants accepting crypto because they see it as volatile.
Right.
And so what we're counting on is not just our own education, but the education of the entire industry.
All right.
There was a panel discussion yesterday with 5 or 6 payment processing people, and they're all talking about the challenges. And I'm sitting there going, yep, yeah, I agree. I hadn't thought of that. And there's a big education process. But then we see giants like, not giants, but companies like Storica, who did a raise last year of $25 million, all based on having an online shopping mall accepting 100% crypto. So we look to see what they did, and we look to see how can we tweak our model just a little bit to do something that's even more utility-based. Because for us, there's no value in just having a token. The token has to facilitate.
I mean, Historica, I didn't check it, but my kind of thought is that if I go there and see how many transactions they have in crypto, I think it's going to be very slow.
It's taken them 6 months to get to where they are now, which is almost to a live working model. We're already 18 months into development. We've worked on this project through 2 other formats in the past. We've had teams in Vietnam, teams in Bosnia, teams in the Ukraine, and teams in Hungary, all working to make the platform accessible. We've looked at the marketing angles. We've brought merchants on in trials, found out what their challenges were, and then we're going to roll all of that out into Crescendo, which will come about 3 months after the launch of Legato, which is out now in beta.
So Crescendo, is it the same logic as Legato? Like it's a decentralized, crypto-to-crypto payment system?
It's giving people that possibility of the merchant accepting 100% crypto app-based and taking the risk away from the merchant. So if they want to hold it, they can. But if they want to convert straight to fiat, they can as well.
You can use Legato, right?
We'll use Legato to introduce. We're going to advertise through Legato to get people to Crescendo, and then give them the chance. Here's where you can spend your money. So you can spend your Tempow, you can spend your Bitcoin, you can spend any token that's on the list.
Okay, then tell me about how a customer can use his Bitcoin and actually the merchant gets fiat. How can he do that?
Okay, so there's a number of payment gateways right now, like CoinGate, CoinPayments.net. That's, for example, how we're receiving contributions into our utility token offering. So we allow people to pay with up to 50 different cryptocurrencies. Now, in most people's mindset, they just want to accept Bitcoin. They don't realize you could accept anything.
Most probably, I think they will accept fiat.
They'll accept fiat. Yeah. And our utility token offering is also accepting fiat and contributions.
No, so tell me. So how do I pay? I pay by my Bitcoin, but the merchant receives fiat. How does it work?
The merchant's going to set up an option in their back office to say, I want to have no risk at all about the volatility of cryptocurrency. So whenever I receive a transaction through the platform, I want it instantly converted to fiat, send it to my bank account.
All right. How does he do that?
It's just a choice. You choose either you want to hold it in your crypto wallet or you want to hold it in your fiat wallet.
He already faced, the volatility risk in the transfer process.
On the spot conversion. If that's it's all about settings, right? Just like settings on your phone. You your phone to be this bright, you want your text to be this big. You set it right at the moment of setting up your merchant account.
Yes, I'm receiving your Bitcoin, right?
Yep.
And let's consider, the latency is not, resolved, all right?
Yep.
We have to be very realistic. In
Sure.
that case, it will take, time to confirm, whether it's real or not, right?
Sure.
And in that case, then I get the Bitcoin, and then the volatility already kicks in, and then I have to actually go to the exchange and cash it out, and then there's also a time gap happening there.
That's if you choose to hold it in Bitcoin. But if you choose the crypto to fiat option, whatever the spot rate is at the time of the transaction is what's on it.
Okay. Then is it linked to a stable coin, or how does it work?
We're going to take a spot price based on a number of different exchanges, have an agreed price. They'll know what the agreed price is inside their Crescendo wallet, and we'll say, okay, this is the price now, $7,250, $1.22, and you've received $27. So you're going to get that fraction of that price at that moment. We then bear the risk if it goes up or down.
Oh, you bear the risk.
Yeah, not the merchant, ever. Never the merchant.
Don't you think that's risky?
In the last 2 days, Bitcoin's gone up 12-13%, right? The day before it went down 1%, went up 2%. So for us, it's about using payment gateways who also have that fixed spot price for us as well. So we have the agreement with them. They have the agreement. We have the agreement with the merchant. So if the price is 7,250, they honor it, we honor it, and then we're not even taking the risk because we have an agreement with the payment gateway who has that liquidity. So they're managing 50 different cryptocurrencies through the exchanges that they partner with. So it's almost like there's an arbitrage happening all across everything. So everyone's protected as best as possible. Can anyone protect against a fall?
What do you mean by liquidity? So they're going to provide the cash to the merchant?
The guarantee is that it's going to be at that rate. So that's because as a payment gateway, they're receiving billions of dollars every day.
So you're kind of, sharing the risk?
I guess it's like sharing the risk, yeah.
So, you guys pay 50%, those guys pay 50%?
That's part of the agreement that we have with them, is that they have the spot price that, for example, someone makes a contribution to the utility token offering, someone's donating $10,000 in equivalent crypto. At the moment they make that deposit, that's the value that we get. Whether Bitcoin goes down 20% tomorrow or goes up 20%, we can't choose. We've just got what it is on the day. And now we funnel all of that back down into Ethereum because we're using an ERC20 token.
You agree, right? Realistically, right? If the Bitcoin is, these days it's kind of steady. That's what I think. We don't see any unreasonable sudden movements or something, right? But it could happen.
Could happen.
It could reach like 10,000 and then it just crashes. In that case, you have 10,000 deals or 5,000 deals, and then the loss will be crazy.
But they've agreed at that moment. They've agreed at that moment to receive it, and they're going to receive it on the spot.
So my question is,
if they do a sale 1 hour later and the price has gone down, they're just going to get a different fraction of that particular cryptocurrency. They're always going to get their fiat value because they're still going to advertise their products.
But the other thing you have to think about, I'm just driving a worst case scenario, right? Because usually when the crash happens, the volume is crazy at the exchanges.
Yep.
It just get bogged down.
Everything's plunging.
Yeah, and of course you want to liquidate it as soon as possible, but it can happen. You understand what I'm saying, right? It could be like the system breaks down and you have to actually do it next day, and then the loss is like crazy.
Yeah. So if a merchant chooses they want to keep things in crypto, part of the education process there is you have to realize it's a volatile market. It's still an emerging asset class, for example. You're taking the risk if you hold it in crypto. If you want to be conservative, withdraw it to fiat instantly, every single time.
All right.
We have a marketing team, a legal team, and another marketing team that are all paid in cryptocurrency, and they liquidate to fiat at their own expense because they don't want the volatility. Other people, I know people last year who got lucky enough to get paid in cryptocurrency, held it for 1 or 2 months, doubled their money. Now, not by design, it was by luck because the market's beyond their control.
I understand, but that's always
And we know people that bought things in December and January who lost 70% of their money and are crying and never want to touch crypto again.
Right.
So that's the risk. So we're going to be very open and transparent with the merchants, saying, here's an opportunity to bring new customers to your business, sell more products or services, but you have to realize, just like receiving fiat, which may devalue the currency may devalue a little bit, crypto's a little bit more volatile. You have to choose. Do you want to take the risk on that extra 20% of customers that the money you bring in might turn into nothing?
And what is the transaction fee?
3% paid in Tempow token.
3%? That's not low. Because right now, card transactions, they're like 3%.
3%. Amex can be 5 or 6% still.
Yeah. Still, internationally.
We were talking in the presentations yesterday. We heard about fees as low as 0.15%, and even Samsung Pay being 0%. Yeah, still using fiat currency though at the moment. So at the moment, that's about fueling the ecosystem to maintain the merchant platform, to maintain the customer service, to be that extra layer of integration and protection. So it's paying for those services.
And do you already have a merchant to B2C site you're running, or is it you have to build from scratch?
That's about 18 months in development so far.
No. Do you already have an online market between merchants and consumers?
Like
e-commerce.
The platform, the e-commerce platform.
Yeah.
That's been created over the last 18 months. And it's the second project to launch, because there's no point launching that without having Legato users.
I mean, it's not in use right now, right?
No.
Yes. So you have to develop all the merchant network.
So it's going to show up as a fresh marketplace.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, that's going to be a challenge. That's what I'm telling you.
I'm
just very realistic.
Totally. That's why we're creating the customers first, and then we're creating the merchants
one thing
second.
I can tell you is that what a reasonable person think about merchant can actually be not true.
Oh yeah, and I've been on both sides.
Yeah, because
I've been
you think,
a merchant.
this is so good for you. I mean, why would he take it? They're not taking it because they're really not taking. They don't want to take any risk. They don't want to change.
Exactly, and that's a lot of businesses. But that's why we're also looking at service providers, freelancers, that whole secondary market, the independent contractor market, not just the bricks and mortar businesses. Because we're never going to compete with Alibaba, but would like to be the Alibaba of crypto. That'd be fantastic. Just knowing that people are comfortable spending their money and receiving their money in that digital format.
But just to clarify, I mean, right now for Crescendo,
Yep.
the merchant network actually targets every merchant, right? It's not only the big
It'll be
companies,
open to everyone.
right? It's
The SME market is the biggest
consumer
market.
goods, business
Non-profits,
products,
everything.
Right.
Yeah. And services. Like I say, my speaking services will be on there. The books that I sell on Amazon, and also in rewarding the customers for spending and rewarding the merchants as they receive more. So the token itself is going to have...
How do you reward merchants? I understand the consumer part.
Sure. At the moment, in the initial stages, the 3% in the transaction fee will be there. But merchants will also have a chance to hold a certain amount of Tempow tokens and be part of receiving a percentage of the profits of the entire system.
All right. Does that make Crescendo token a security token?
No, because we're never saying the token needs to go up in price. We're never saying that you're owning a part of the company.
But it's
and
profit sharing.
We don't want to be saying that there's any equity stake that provides you with extra. What we're saying is the more you use the token, the more you're going to be rewarded.
So have you consulted with your lawyers about it?
Absolutely. We have a nice expensive lawyer bill that we've already paid half of, and part of the reason for setting up in Singapore is because we need to be transparent under the Monetary Authority of Singapore.
Okay, so then Crescendo, how the token I don't want to use the word token value goes up, all right?
No.
But just talk about demand, all right? So the more your network grows, the more demand increase.
What will hopefully happen is you don't want to say the value of the token goes down, but you want to say that the token is stable, almost like a stable coin, that that 3% is going to cost you the same amount every time. You don't need more tokens to achieve the same thing. You don't have to reinvest to get more tokens. You want the token to be purely being used to keep the ecosystem flowing.
Yeah, because you have profit from the transaction fees, right? And then, the merchants have a stake, right? I mean, that are all driving, profit and demand of the token.
And this is where the exchanges are, all the other exchanges are necessary, because we want the token freely available, because a merchant...
Another thing is, can consumer use your token for purchases?
They can use the token for purchases. What we're going to let the merchant decide if they want to take 100% crypto or nothing. And if it's 100% crypto, through the payment gateways we're going to give them, it'll give them at least 25 to 50 different cryptos they can pay with.
Well, what about, you have multiple coins, right? The merchant receives multiple coins, right?
Yep.
Does he have multiple QR codes for that, or how does it work?
Our goal is we have one QR code, and because the payment gateway that we're using, like CoinGate, for example, it'll take anything and convert it to Ether, or BTC, or cash. Whichever way you want to go, the payment gateways are just making it as simple as a tap or a QR code, and it's done.
What are you saying? So the consumer can only use BTC, Ether, and is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying it'll come out the other end of the funnel in BTC or Ether or fiat. So they'll put anything in, one option, put anything in, and it comes out as BTC or
where
Ether.
do you translate it? If I use ADA, for instance,
Yep.
you only offer, the merchant only sees BTC, Ether, or whatever.
Yeah.
How do you translate it?
We're having a Crescendo QR code. So the Crescendo QR code will link into the back office of all the payment gateways that we have and everyone we accept. So for example, if someone shows up with a multi-currency crypto card that has Zcash on it, and they tap Zcash, Zcash will work.
Oh, I don't get it. I'm sorry.
So you can use basically any crypto to pay. That's the goal.
Okay, so that depends on your payment gateway partners.
Our payment gateway partners, yes. And so we're using a payment gateway which is CoinGate and Shapeshift as well. So between the two of them, they can accept over 50 different currencies.
How do you share your profit with these payment gateways?
We have a very fractional amount that has to be paid to them for the privilege.
They agreed?
Well, they make their percentages on their spread as well.
What do you mean on their spread?
On what they're buying and they're selling their crypto for, whatever their arbitrage amounts are.
Oh, right. But I mean, I'm talking about the 3% transaction cost, right? That's fixed,
That's just
right?
coming into Crescendo, yeah.
Yeah. But you also, I mean, those guys
tokens.
also have to get some share of it, right?
CoinGate?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, if that's used, you know.
Not of Tempow, no.
No? Not on Crescendo? Why not? I mean,
we have a simple API integration from CoinGate into the website or into the platform, and as a result of having that, how they make their money is how they make their money. They make the service available
because
to us.
If they make money, I mean, you will get your 3% transaction fee from the merchant, right?
Yes.
And there will be possibility these guys also charge like 1% or 2%.
No.
Then why would they do that?
Because they want to be in the business of receiving hundreds and millions of dollars of crypto every day through their transaction platform. And through that tiny spread, they're making the difference on the spread between the buy and the sell of Zcash or Litecoin or whatever crypto is being paid for. So whatever their spot price is...
But that spread has to be paid by the merchant.
No. That's whatever price they're giving us, they're already giving us their sell price, not their buy price.
So it's included actually in the price.
So they're managing it in the background.
Come on. It's only included in there, right? I mean, that spread is included in the offering price.
No.
Basically, the merchant has to pay for that spread then.
No.
Why not? Am I missing something?
Yeah, let's say the price is 7250 today on Bitcoin, and they give us 7260. Then they're making that $10 difference. They're making that micro difference between the buy and the sell price in the price they offer us in the first place. So they're making the spread back out on their own markets. That's not our issue. They're giving us the connection through their.
No, what I'm saying is because they're going to exchange, right? Actually, right?
Yeah.
And they will take both,
instantly. Yeah.
They will take the fee both from the buyer and the seller.
And in this case, we're the buyer.
Yeah, exactly. And already in that, it's the buyer fee included. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
that's not being passed to the merchant. The merchant's only paying the 3% through Crescendo, through Tempow.
Okay. Yeah, but then it's including the 3%.
Well,
I can only think
in whatever the price they're giving us, it's included.
Because you're not giving out, the fee for free. That's what I'm saying. You're gonna, it's in the 3% included.
Well, and that's our maximum anyway.
But it is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So we are running out of time. So let's
okay.
do it shortly. What about the last, trading?
So Fortissimo.
I mean, my impression is good. Step-by-step approach. It's very good.
A lot of people won't go past Legato.
But I think maybe it's kind of excessive. You understand what I'm saying? Because only concentrating on one platform, it's hard.
A lot of time.
But then you have to actually concentrate on 3 platforms.
Yeah.
That makes it much more complicated.
And that's why it's a rollout process over a 6-month period, 6 to 12 months. We can't expect to do everything overnight.
But the problem is because over that 6-month period, this world will change like crazy.
Totally. Absolutely.
And there might be a possibility actually you're not going to work on the third part.
Or someone might come and buy us before that happens. I mean,
yeah, but
anything's
unrealistic.
possible.
Yeah.
But the point of us starting any project that has a natural flow is you want to get to where people who are holding aren't stuck with it. So the exchange is designed to reward people for actually being active in the market. So again, buying and selling provides liquidity to an exchange, which makes the markets hopefully more bullish. Now, our small fraction of the world is just a small fraction, right? But we know exchanges doing $20 and $30 billion worth of trade per day. Being a part of that market is obviously a natural progression from
I understand.
Trading, buying and selling, and then exchanging.
Yeah, it's not only, the reason most probably you're taking the 3-way approach is because you want to be realistic. because you have to build one by one. You cannot do it all at once, right?
Absolutely.
So I think
and you don't want to just start building an exchange when in Tokyo there's 150 exchanges waiting to be listed.
Because you have to build your
you
community,
can have a marketplace,
right?
build a community. Absolutely.
Yeah, I see it.
And that's why I've got to go everywhere.
But I'm worried about
everywhere.
this will take time. The step-by-step process, and in total it's gonna take like I don't know, maybe 18 months. 18 months or something. And
our roadmap
just in like 6 months, this goes like crazy.
Our roadmap goes out to the end of 2019. By that stage, we expect the exchange to be fully working. It will have adapted and adopted the changes that have come along, evolved hopefully, and if we know that with Legato already working in beta mode, that's going to be our core community building.
So the Tempow token, is it applicable to all three platforms?
All three platforms.
Okay, then the ICO, is it concentrated on getting the fund for all three platforms or just one?
3 platforms in one token.
Yeah, okay. So, all right. We have to think about it.
Yeah, it's not designed to be simple. It's designed to be simple at the
like I said,
once we get to the user experience.
People are actually buying the token and they're investing in 3 platforms that will take over a lifespan of 18 months.
Yeah.
They have to know that.
But there's an app that's already ready, and there's Crescendo Marketplace that's already ready. So we're going to go live with those first 2 projects within the first 3 months.
Okay.
I have the app on my phone.
Yeah.
It's beta testing all around the world right now.
Okay.
In Android and in iOS and on a web version. So
okay.
we're already being submitting to Apple and to Google Play.
I understand.
So we don't want to have a sort of project. We're live, ready to go.
Okay. So what about the third one? Let's make it quick. It's a trading platform, right?
Yep.
And
it will reward people to trade. So it will pay people to trade instead of charging them fees.
What is different from so many asset management platform, crypto asset management platform out there? What's the difference?
Our biggest difference is we hope we've got a big community that we're educating to trade safely and to trade calmly. And so education's in parallel with everything that we do. Most exchanges that I join, there's maybe a help page, few FAQs. We want to have the live chat. We're going to use AI and chatbots all the way through every platform that we've got, so people never feel like they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know what you're doing, you make a mistake.
Right.
Or you go, Bitcoin's going up, or it's going down, I should sell, I should buy. Instead, we want to give them more education, because my entire life has been about education. Education brings confidence, then confidence can lead to mastery.
Totally agree. But the project that I interviewed a couple of days ago, actually they had a very similar story. Okay, when it came to education, they had a very similar story. And okay, let's question. What happens? If it really, I don't hope and I don't think it's going to happen like that. But
sure.
What happens realistically? You're working on what was the first? Legato, and also Crescendo, and then happens actually the third one. You decided it's not going to be very competitive, and then you have to get the understanding of your investors. How are you going to do that?
Well, I guess it's one of those bridges you have to cross when you get to it. But we plan to keep our communication up every day with our community. We expect to get all the feedback from them on what's working, what's not, what they want. So the evolution should be a natural evolution. We're certainly not fixed in our ideas of how it has to work. We're just trying to take the best of what's happened in the last 18 months in different areas, on exchanges, on merchant platforms, and in peer-to-peer and person-to-person trading, and try to come up with the best user-friendly experience that's not just about us, but it's focused exclusively on that brand new person.
So you understand? You think that investors will understand the situation?
I think they'll understand because they'll be part of the process all the way along.
All right. Okay. Is there any less worth for the audience?
Well, Legato is about smooth connections. We want to make it easy for people to get into the world of crypto. And so if you've never traded anything before, you've never even owned $100 worth of Bitcoin, you'll be able to look us up and say, oh, let me find someone in my own town who I trust, who I know, and I can get into the world of crypto.
All right. So are we running low on the battery, or is it still running?
It's still running.
Okay, just quickly, what about your background?
My background is I've been in the area of direct selling and personal development for over 25 years. I've been a motivational speaker, I've been a trainer, a teacher, and I've worked in the area of education mostly in self and personal and professional development for most of that time.
Okay. All right.
Probably including our marketing team's about 50 people right now.
And how many engineers?
Engineers is about 8.
8, all right. Okay, and you're right now in private placement, sale, or?
Yeah, so we're in a pre-sale, private sale period up until our first $5 million is raised.
So your ICO started?
We're live now, yeah.
Okay, when is the pre-sale ending?
It ends when it's $5 million.
Oh, okay.
And then we go to we have a 4-tiered project, so really it's just about when the referral bonuses and the investor bonuses increase or decrease. So 5 million, 12.5, 25, and 30.
Okay, cool. So was it challenging?
Was what challenging?
I mean, this interview.
Oh, the interview? I love to talk, so
Was it challenging?
I like the challenge of having to be concise. I like the challenge of knowing that you don't know the answers to everything, especially in foretelling the future.
But I mean, were you satisfied with your answers? You know.
I'm satisfied with my answers because I'm not.
Do you think the
I'm not the
questions
CTO.
were kind of, valid for the greater audience too?
Very valuable, and I'm very honored to be interviewed by anybody.
Okay, cool. All right. So it was a challenge, and he did it good, and wait for the next challenge. I'm Tom Koo Live, and this was Mark, and thank you very much for taking the interview.
Pleasure.
Best of luck.
Thanks.